So what's this book about? How to be our best self in times of crisis. Basically what this book does is addresses the fact that for every human and in every human life, there are times of crisis. A crisis can be defined as any major change that takes place in our lives. Sometimes we choose changes, so we might want to move job or change relationships, change geographic locations. Any big change like that, in a way, is a bit of a crisis. But then there are other changes and transformations that take place in our lives, which we don't ask for, they just happen to us. And they're the bigger crises. But the reason this book is written is just to outline and show people that this is just a natural part of what human life is about. You can't go from being an infant and a small child to being an adult or an old person without going through some huge upheavals and some huge changes. Life changes and we have to change. It's just part of it. But there's also a part of us that really likes familiarity. Sometimes we like change, but mostly as human beings, we like what's familiar, we like what's routine, we like what we know. And therefore, when a big change comes, and especially one that we haven't asked for, this is a crisis. But the main thing about the book is that just accept that when they do come, that's exactly what happens. Crises come. And most importantly, there is a way of getting through it. It happens to everyone. You're not the only person who's ever had a crisis on this planet. Because of social media, we tend to think that everybody else's lives are really good. No, everybody who's doing human has to go through this. So if you're going through a crisis, you're not the first person, you're not the last person. Everybody has to do it, no matter what we might think about the world. And the reason the book is written is to help you to realize that this does happen, but also that there's a process that you can go through. There's a process that will help you to be your best self, even in the darkest of times. So one of the things that we say in the book is that death is the opposite to birth, but death is not the opposite to new life. Even in the darkest times, and even in the most difficult times, there is a liberation of sorts. There's a change on the way, and you can be your best self during this time.